Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Mike Lindell, the My Pilliow guy, just lost a major court battle that may cost them millions of dollars. And here's why. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nate the Lawyer, where we deal with the facts and the law. If it's your first time here, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel if you like what you hear. Let's get into it. So Dominion Voting Systems is suing Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Mike Lindell, the My Pilliow guy, for defamation and a host of other civil charges. But the core issue here is defamation. Dominion Voting Systems has alleged in a lawsuit that these three have accused the company of committing crimes like fraud and election interference. Dominion vehemently denies these allegations. Founded in 2003, Dominion Voting Systems is the leading supplier of election technology across the United States, Canada, and globally. Now here's a map of states that use Dominion's election equipment. Think about this. 4 out of every 10 American voters are served by Dominion products. Now, don't be fooled by the press. Dominion has had major issues in the past. In doing research for this topic, I found this video uploaded by PBS, which is a little left-leaning. And this video was uploaded to YouTube 8 days before the 2020 presidential election. The title of the video is, Will Georgia's New Voting Machines Solve Election Problems or Make Them Worse? And what election machines are they talking about? Well, Dominion election voting machines. Listen to this clip.
So she and the other plaintiffs took aim at the new voting machines. The lawsuit came into sharp focus after their chaotic debut in the June primary. The poll pads took as long as 30 hours to download the voter database, displayed the wrong races, and would randomly shut down. And the power-hungry ballot marking devices blew circuit breakers in numerous locations. And in late September, another concern came to light. During testing, election workers found half the names of the 21 candidates for Senate intermittently disappeared from screens during the review phase. Dominion sent out a last-minute software patch.
I'm worried that the Georgia system is the technical equivalent to the 737 MAX. They've just made a last-minute software change that might well have unintended consequences and cause even more severe problems on election day.
So we're all on the same page. Right before the election, PBS was ringing the alarm, right? Keep your eyes on this. Watch Dominion. Fast forward to after the election. President Trump has lost, and Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Mike Lindell, the My Pilliow guy, are all pointing to Dominion. So they started making statements like this.
Last night, one of the experts that has examined these crooked Dominion machines has absolutely what he believes is conclusive proof that in the last 10%, 15% of the vote counted, the votes were deliberately changed.
Dominion just filed a lawsuit against Newsmax, OAN, and Patrick Byrne. This is what we're going to go through today, everybody. God bless them. Let me tell you something, Dominion. Guess what? After today, you better melt down those machines and use them for prison bars. Because he got so many votes and they had to backfill, now we all know it was fraud. Well, the technology of these Dominion machines and all this stuff, it's all going to be exposed to in the future. The whole world is watching. We're going to have the fairest elections in history. Starting, I want Georgia to listen.
Dominion operators went in and injected votes and changed the whole system. They run a computer algorithm on it as needed to either flip votes, take votes out, or alter the votes to make a candidate win. It has been used all over the world to defy the will of people who wanted freedom. There is statistical evidence, there is all kinds of mathematical evidence, essentially forensic evidence. Dominion and its minions and other state officials everywhere are apparently out there trying to destroy everything they can get to before we can seize it. They had this all planned, Maria. It is one huge criminal conspiracy.
Now, even if these statements were defamatory, you still have one major issue, the standard. And the standard is actual malice. That comes from a case called New York Times v. Sullivan. See, Dominion Voting Systems is no doubt a public figure. Look at the map. Look at where they are across the country. Now, because of this fact, Dominion Voting Systems would need to prove that all three of these defendants acted with actual malice. What is actual malice? Well, actual malice means that the person who made the statements knew the statements were false and made them anyway, or recklessly disregarded the truth. So even if the statements were defamatory, Dominion would still have to prove that they acted with actual malice. So how did Dominion solve that problem? Well, Dominion voting system sent each of the defendants a cease and desist letter, which detailed how and why their statements were wrong and outlined all the evidence to show that their statements were actually false. Now, if any of these defendants made the statements again, Dominion can sue, claiming that they had proof that their statements were false and either disregarded that proof or knowingly said false statements. Actual malice. So Dominion sent out the cease and desist, and the defendants made the statements again. So Dominion then filed its lawsuit against all three defendants, showing how they likely had actual malice because Dominion showed them how their statements were false, showed them the evidence, and they disregarded it and said the statements again anyway. Now, each one of the defendants filed a motion to dismiss. Now, motions to dismiss are where defamation lawsuits go to die. Remember the Toddy Westbrook versus Without a Crystal Ball? You got thrown out on a motion to dismiss. Karen McDougal versus Tucker Carlson, thrown out because of a motion to dismiss. OAN versus Rachel Maddow, again, thrown out at a motion to dismiss. Matter of fact, OAN even had to pay Rachel Maddow's legal fees. But why? Why are most of these defamation cases thrown out? Well, most defamation cases involving public figures don't survive motion to dismisses because of actual malice. Let me explain. See, at the stage of a motion to dismiss, the court has to assume that everything the plaintiff is saying is true. And the question to the court is, if everything the plaintiff is saying is true and the plaintiff is granted all favorable inferences, can the plaintiff win as a matter of law? Let's say someone is hit by a car. It's caught on camera and they can prove without a shadow of a doubt that they were injured and that the person who was driving that car injured them. But the plaintiff waits too late and the statute of limitations runs out. When the plaintiff files this lawsuit, the defendant is going to file a motion to dismiss, claiming that the statute of limitations has run out. Now, in this particular case, the plaintiff has all the evidence needed and can prove their case, but the action will be dismissed as a matter of law because the clock ran out. Even though the person can win the lawsuit, since they filed too late, as a matter of law, the lawsuit can't go forward. Now, when it comes to actual malice, to survive a motion to dismiss, you have to show some facts that the defendant knew the statements were false. Now, if you don't, your defamation case is going to be dismissed, especially if you are a public figure, like Dominion. So in this case, Dominion was able to show that the statements were false and that they sent evidence and information to these individual defendants, that it was false, and they said the false statements again anyway. So after the court evaluated the evidence and evaluated the statements, Dominion's case survived the motion to dismiss. Dominion had enough evidence to show that these plaintiffs acted with actual malice. So now the lawsuit continues on to discovery, and we will see what happens after that. Do you think the statements were defamatory? Do you think they were not? Let me know in the comment section what you think. And my name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm going to see you next time.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, we have the president here, our real president, everyone. Hello, Mr. President.
MacronShow.com, bitches. Macron.
Okay.
All right.
I
Sorry,
guess
Paul.
that wasn't. I guess that was. You see what they're doing? They're attacking us.